As the sun rises over the bustling markets of Lagos or the majestic pyramids of Giza, a silent war is raging, a conflict that doesn't involve bombs or bullets, but one that's no less dangerous. Today, Africa finds itself at the center of a hidden war between two global heavyweights, the United States and China. A battle for influence and dominance that's quietly reshaping the continent's political, economic, and social landscape. So join me today as we dive deep into this covert struggle, exposing the strategies, challenges, and consequences of this ongoing tussle. Prepare to be surprised by the tactics these superpowers employ and the impact it has on ordinary Africans like you and me. Welcome to Africa Shine Your Eyes. Let's get into it. In the intricate game of geopolitics, military alliances and partnerships play a pivotal role, and Africa is fast becoming a critical battleground in the evolving rivalry between the US and China. Each superpower seeks to establish strong military ties with African nations, positioning itself for strategic advantage. The United States, long seen as a champion of democracy and human rights, has traditionally enjoyed significant influence in Africa. Through initiatives like the African Leaders for Democracy and Development Program, the U.S. government provides training and education to African military officers, fostering closer defense ties and promoting democratic values. Meanwhile, China, with its growing economic clout, has taken a different approach. By offering substantial military aid and equipment to various African nations, China has forged strategic partnerships that prioritize mutual interests and tangible benefits. For example, in 2021, China pledged to provide 10,000 assault rifles, 100 armored vehicles, and 5 attack helicopters to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, bolstering the nation's capacity to combat ongoing conflicts in the eastern part of the country. However, beyond the realm of official partnerships, a shadowy world of covert support and supply networks exists. Secret weapons deals are struck, fueling proxy conflicts and deepening existing divisions across the continent. Take, for instance, the ongoing conflict in Sudan, where both the US and China have been accused of fueling the war by supporting opposing sides. While the US backs the internationally recognized government of Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, China has reportedly supplied military assistance to the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. As the fighting intensifies, accusations of war crimes and crimes against humanity have surfaced, raising serious concerns about the role of foreign powers in perpetuating the violence. This conflict has tragically evolved into a proxy war, with each side receiving support from their respective backers. The U.S. government has provided humanitarian aid and deployed diplomats to evacuate American citizens, while China continues to deepen its relationship with Sudan's military leadership despite the ongoing hostilities. This situation raises troubling questions about the true extent of foreign influence in the region and the potential consequences for regional stability. Are the U.S. and China knowingly contributing to the destabilization of an already fragile region? How will this conflict impact ongoing peace negotiations and the prospects for lasting stability in Sudan? As the rivalry intensifies, both nations are pouring significant resources into securing strategic military bases within Africa, transforming the continent into a hub of geopolitical tension. One such flashpoint is the tiny East African nation of Djibouti, strategically located near major shipping lanes and vital for counterterrorism efforts in the volatile region. In recent years, Djibouti has become home to a growing number of military bases from various countries, including the United States, China, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Japan. With multiple foreign military bases, Djibouti has become a microcosm of the wider geopolitical rivalry unfolding across the continent. The presence of these bases reflects the strategic importance of the region, particularly in the context of counterterrorism efforts in the fight against extremism. Groups like Al-Shabaab and Islamic State in the Greater Sahara pose a constant threat to regional stability. The U.S. military base at Camp Lemonnier serves as a crucial hub for counterterrorism operations, housing thousands of U.S. troops and providing logistical support for drone strikes and other counterterrorism missions. Meanwhile, China's presence in Djibouti is less about counterterrorism and more about securing their vast economic interests across Africa. With billions of dollars invested in infrastructure projects and trade agreements, China's military base serves as a logistical lifeline for their operations on the continent. It also signals their growing global ambitions and their willingness to project military power overseas. But this concentration of foreign military might in such a small area inevitably raises concerns about regional stability. The potential for miscalculation or escalation remains, particularly as tensions rise between the U.S. and China. What happens if rival warships from these two superpowers find themselves docked at the same port? How does it impact diplomatic relations and increase the risk of conflict? These questions highlight the precarious balance that exists in Djibouti and the broader implications for the region. As the rivalry between the U.S. and China intensifies, Africa finds itself caught in the crossfire, grappling with the complex consequences of this global struggle for power. The implications of hosting foreign military bases extend beyond strategic considerations. It's imperative to assess the impact on local communities, the environment, and the overall stability of the region. How do these bases affect local residents? What are the environmental consequences of increased military activity? Addressing these concerns is crucial for ensuring that military cooperation contributes to regional stability rather than exacerbating tensions. As the sun sets over the bustling cities of Africa, it's important to consider the quiet cost of this conflict. Behind the headlines of military deals and strategic alliances, real people are affected. Ordinary Africans wake up every day and face the realities of this hidden war. Whether it's the families torn apart by proxy conflicts or the communities grappling with the environmental consequences of unchecked military expansion, their stories deserve to be told. The human cost of this conflict is too often overlooked. It's crucial to amplify their voices and shed light on the challenges they face. After all, this is not just a game for superpowers, it's their home, their future, and their story. Africa is blessed with abundant natural resources, from gold and diamonds to oil and rare earth metals. These resources are essential for powering the world's technological advancements and have become the focus of intense competition between the U.S. and China. China, with its state-driven investment model, has been aggressively securing access to these resources, forging strategic partnerships and investing heavily in extractive industries across the continent. On the other hand, the U.S. is responding by strengthening its partnerships with African nations, promoting good governance and sustainable development as key components of its engagement. However, this competition has raised concerns about the exploitation of resources and the impact on local communities. Critics argue that China's resource-hungry investments are contributing to environmental degradation and exacerbating inequality in Africa. The U.S., too, faces scrutiny for supporting regimes with poor human rights records in its pursuit of strategic partnerships. The intensifying rivalry between the U.S. and China is having a profound impact on African economies. Both nations are engaging in a complex web of trade agreements, investments, and aid packages that have both positive and negative implications for African countries. China's massive infrastructure projects, while impressive in their scale, have often come with strings attached, leaving African nations saddled with debt and concerns about long-term sustainability. The U.S., in its efforts to counter China's influence, has responded with its own aid packages and investment initiatives. But these come with their own set of conditions, often related to political alignment and market access. This complex interplay of economic interests and strategic considerations raises several concerns. How do African countries navigate this delicate balance between competing superpowers? What are the long-term implications of accepting such assistance? And how can African nations ensure that their interests are prioritized in these deals? The rivalry between the US and China is not merely an economic competition. It's a full-scale battle for influence that extends to the very core of African societies. Each superpower seeks to gain the upper hand by exploiting existing ethnic and religious tensions, exacerbating divisions, and fueling instability. This dangerous tactic has far-reaching consequences, undermining peace, security, and the overall well-being of African populations. To truly understand the impact of this conflict, we must delve into the tactics employed and the devastating effects on African lives. The US and China actively engage in a complex web of diplomatic maneuvers aimed at winning over African nations, shaping their political landscapes and securing their allegiance in the ongoing rivalry. But this pursuit of influence comes at a cost. African democracies are often undermined as both superpowers prioritize strategic interests over democratic values and human rights. Covert operations, propaganda campaigns, and backroom deals become the norm, eroding public trust and perpetuating cycles of corruption. Moreover, the influx of foreign aid and investments often distort local economies, creating dependency and hindering sustainable development. This struggle for political supremacy leaves African citizens disillusioned and caught in the crossfire of a global power struggle. If you want to know more about the USA vs. China in Africa, check out the links in the description below. Thank you for watching Africa Shine Your Eyes. If you found this video informative and would like to support us in our mission to bring you more insightful African content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Your support means everything to us and will help us continue to deliver quality content that matters to you. Additionally, you can join the conversation by commenting below and sharing your thoughts and opinions on the topics we discuss. Your voice matters, and we encourage you to engage with us and other viewers in the comments section. Together we can make a difference, so don't wait. Start commenting and let's have meaningful conversations that will help shape our platform and better serve our community. Thanks for being a part of our journey, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.